So before we start this episode, so you already know everyone that O Rei, the football Pele, the king, is no more with us in this world. So before we start our episode, let us give our tributes to the football legend. So yeah, rest in peace, the king. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Lossage podcast. My name is Tushar Katheria, and this is the first time that we are doing it's a solo podcast episode. And yeah, because this is the Christmas and New Year's week, the holiday season has already been started, and everyone will be busy. So I thought let's do a solo podcast so that whatever things that are happening right now into the sports industry, so we will talk about it. So yeah, the first topic that we will talk about is the January football transfer window. And everyone, especially people who are following the football, they know that the January transfer window is usually for the clubs who really want to fill up the gaps and the players who are got injured uh, in their respective team and they want to fill up that position. And in the past 2 weeks we saw that numerous players are getting their interest, especially Jude Bellingham and Cody Gakpo is already been signed by the Liverpool Football Club. And yeah, it's a very stellar deal for them and what they got it for the position that right now Luis Diaz, who is their starter in their team, he already got injured and they already knew that he's a very fragile and he get freak injuries. It's a really good signing. And if you see McAllister and other famous football players right now, and one of them is the Cristiano Ronaldo, who got the very lucrative offer from the Saudi club. And news is something that uh, he's really interested in that offer because you see most of the clubs right now they are not willing to add a player like Cristiano Ronaldo. There are so many factors right now, but one of the factor will be the issue with the player who have the big ego. But the player like Cristiano Ronaldo, he also need to understand that he is at the age where he have to be in the bench, and there's other players who are doing really well right now. So the thing is, if he's getting the such a lucrative offer, maybe he can accept, but we have to say that what will happen. And from the football world, that everyone know that Liverpool and Manchester United, we already talked about in the second last episode which we have done with the Deep Ray. And we talk about it that tech companies like Apple Incorporation and Reliance Industries Limited, Mukesh Ambani, he is already interested with the Liverpool, and Apple Incorporation is interested to buy with the form of the consortium for Man United. And once that money comes on board, maybe Liverpool buy more player in the summer window transfer. But for this window transfer, I don't think they will sign any other player. But we don't know. Could have been they will sign some other player, right? So from the Monaco, who which team which already got qualified for uh into the semifinals of the World Cup, and eventually they are the one of the most underdog team in that tournament, and they done such an amazing work. So yeah, let's see what will happen. And yeah, the next issue that we will talk about the state of Delhi government and Santosh Trophy saga, which has happened in the last week. So let's make the facts very clear that what happened. So state of Delhi, they had a really good budget if we compare with the other state. 15,000 crore, more than 15,000 crore. They have a budget for education, art, and the sports. And if we take out all of the expenses, around 4,000 the budget has been allocated for the sports. These are not the official number. I'm quoting this data from this website which is known as PRS India. I will put the link so you can get and check the what are the investment and what is the estimated budget right now which is proposed for 2022 to 2023. And yeah, you can check that and you compare it. But if you see right now what has happened for this Santosh Trophy is one of the prestigious domestic trophy, and the state association they compete for this prestigious trophy and the tournament. So what happened? So uh, Football Delhi they need 15 lakh rupees from the state government of Delhi to host the group stage matches, and due to some technicalities, the they will not fund the 15 lakh rupees to the organizer, especially to the Football of Delhi, to host the uh, group stage matches of the Santosh Trophy. And because of this, we can see that how other sports are not doing really well because of this kind of things which happen right now in India. And we already saw that how the viewership is increasing in every World Cup, especially from the Indian subcontinent region, especially from India. They are the so many viewers right now who support the very specific team. Look at what happened in the Kerala, what happened in the Goa, Kolkata, northeastern states, Bangalore. I'm counting also Karnataka and the eastern side also, especially from the Orissa, who is right now focusing on becoming the next sporting hub for the India. And this due to this thing only, the you see the return of investment that we get and how our grassroots program in football is quite fragile. If we see from the 2012 to right now, we played three major international tournaments of FIFA under 17 World Cup. We play, and women under 17 World Cup happened, and 22, and we also played for the Asian AFC matches. And you see, we scored only one goal in that international tournament, and we conceded more than 20 goals. And because of this only, and further, there's rubbing the salt on the scars. We are not getting the players that can perform really well, and because of the grassroots program that we have right now, it's not enough to sustain the football if you want to make that footballing culture in India especially. So from the scratch we have to start again, especially the people who are right now handling it. And because of the if you see the how the association federation work, a lot of the people who are the head of such federation organization, most of them are the political leaders in their respective region. And maybe because one of the factors, because this is the hung against the the numbers two comes into the picture. Because of this only state like UP, and we don't know how the UP perform in the football, especially where I belong from. And because of this only we have to again look it into the blueprint at how we have to again have a really good grassroots level program, especially state like UP, Bihar, because these are the state only the few players get into the uh, in their respective games. So yeah, let's see what will happen. And because of this only, it's a very heartbreaking things which happen, especially for the people like us who right now working into the sports sector. So, moving on. So, let's move on to the next topic, which will talk about this Salt Bay controversy in FIFA World Cup Final in Qatar, which happened. And you see the gate crashing incident happen, and Salt Bay he posing with the World Cup, and he's also taking a bite of the gold medal. And because of this, you see the one of the issues come on board, that whether people apart from the World Cup winners and the head of the states, do such people can come on board into the pitch? They invade the pitch, especially, and will they will be uh, allowed to do such kind of things to make a mark into the social media, because these are things which usually done for getting the attention, especially for the people who really into the uh, art or into the sports culture. And because of such incident, FIFA already started the investigation, and the US Open they already banned Salt Bay from entering into the finals of the game. And because of these things only, again the sports governance issue comes on board, which we already talk about with the Roshan Gopal Krishna, and also with the Prey, that how it will get evolved. And yeah, we have to see that how the things will turn up, because there are other sports like in cricket. It is really clearly mentioned in their rule book that only the former World Cup winners or the state heads, they will only touch the prestigious trophy, and no one else can come and touch that trophy, and which is something they already specifically mentioned in their rule book. And we have to see that how it will get revolved, because ultimately the FIFA disciplinary committee, they have to take the action, that how they have to do it, and what are things that they will lay into the rules and regulation, because such incident can happen even more, especially into the Euro Cup, which will happen in 2024. There are the other tournament which will happen. So yeah, so let's see what will happen. Let's move on to our next topic, which will talk about the government of India, and they stand on the esports, especially in India. How, what are their states? So a new notification come in I think on Tuesday, that they will be recognizing esport as a sport. Only this much notification come out, hardly it is one or two page. But one of the interesting thing that we have to think about it, that either they look into the previous research paper, or they take any empirical research from the prior paper which has been written by any professor, or the people who are working, or the any distinctive jurist who is right now done any kind of research into the esports sector. It is good that they're recognizing the esport is the next big thing in the sporting culture, and because of this only what will happen, so it will become easy for the esports athlete to get the visa from the government. And you know that how Formula 1 is not considered sports in India, and it is one of the, and government of India think about it, that Formula 1 is the part of the entertainment sector, and because of that the double and the taxation process is really complicated. And due to this only, Formula 1 races are not going held from the, I think from 2013 to 2014 we didn't see any Formula 1 races. But we have to look into the esports sector, because one of the major concern that I already talked to Professor Nishant Shivkhand. So he's someone who is one of the renowned sports professor, especially in law, who is really famous. So he also mentioned that mm, we have to think about it how the esport sector evolve, because you see it's a very volatile market, and we don't have any rules and regulation in regards to the player transfer, how they do the transfer. It's a they have a very frequent transfer every year, and every time in 1 month they are being associated with the one esports organization, and after 2 or 3 months either they already left the esports organization, or they already took a, or they got banned from that. So there's so much complexity which is happening into the esports sector, and due to this only we have to come on board and talk about it, that what are things that we have to do it. We have to lay the certain rules and statutes so that a common goal can be achieved to for the betterment of the esports sector. And because of this thing only, we have to see that for the next 2 to 3 years it is going to be very important for the sectors like the e-sport, which is going to be evolved, because the new games are coming on board, the metaverse game will come on board, and how it will make an impact. So let's see what will happen, because there are a lot of things which will be going into the next 2 to 3 years. And just giving the notification, just recognizing is the first step, but it is done in a very hassle way, because they didn't show the data that how many people are right now playing the esports space. Either they are playing the PC game, mobile, PlayStation. So there's a not enough data right now, and because of this only there are so many things which, so many problems will come on board. And let's see what government will talk about it. And I think in the, I think budget session, and after the budget session they will another notification can come about the esports sector. So yeah. So let's move on to the last topic. So Richard Rufus, who is the former Charlton Athletic football player, and the investment fraud that he had done into the pyramid selling scheme, and people who don't know, in who are not be aware of the pyramid selling scheme, so it's already banned in most of the Commonwealth nation, and UK also. You can be prosecuted for under the consumer protection from unfair trading regulation in 2008. So due to this rule, you cannot sell or promote or operate such kind of pyramid selling scheme and such kind of project. So what happened with the Richard Rufus? He already been found guilty, and he have to pay the 8 million pounds by using the name of Rio Ferdinand, who is one of the most famous Manchester United player, and he take that money from his friends and family members and doing such kind of, and investing such kind of scheme is something that players who recently play or right now been playing in any such of manner, either they are in the professional league or they're in the amateur league, you have to think about it that your professional life is something which is very limited, and after a certain age, you after that you have to make the investment. But please don't make an investment of such kind of projects, because it will hamper your life, and ultimately we saw that how Richard Rufus have to suffer. M- let's see what happened with the Richard Rufus, because maybe he will go to the court of appeal to get the relief. But because it's already been banned, by making an investment in such kind of projects, it will be really tough for him. Let's see what will happen. And yeah, because before you mix any player who will listen this podcast or watch this on YouTube, you have to make it clear. I will personally recommend you, please don't make such kind of investment. Do get in touch with the really good lawyers who are in these commercial or who know everything about such kind of projects, because they are the people who can help you out. Or get in touch with your sports agent, because they are the one of the first people you will get in touch with them, right? If you are be playing in any professional league, especially in football, right? So yeah, so yeah, that is for today. So yeah, thank you so much for this year that you all listening the Sports Lost Edge podcast. We started in 2021, and 2022 is going to be over. And yeah, I would like to say thank you. And yeah, please like, share, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. And if you're listening from the streaming platform like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music, do follow, rate up podcast. And yeah, give, and if anyone want to get in touch with me, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My social media platform handle name is TK Sports Lawyer. So yeah, thank you everyone. And yeah.